episode.
Oh, totally. Oh, great. We're getting an alert. It says Hangouts on Air is going away later this year for quick streaming. Try this. That's going to be fun to figure out later.
Yay!
Thanks for warning us, YouTube. Hi, welcome to the show. My name's Alec. This is Comicore. This is Story Comicore. This is episode 9, Why the Last Man. Maybe the second to last? The penultimate?
Pretty much.
Penultimate episode?
Second to last. Why?
That's my big word for the night.
Penultimate.
Penultimate. Let me introduce to you some fine panelists that are here with me, the cohorts of the Story Comicore. Directly to my left, we've got Comics Misexplained. What's up?
Yo, what up?
Church of Misery, new shirt every week.
Yeah, let's put on a show. We brought Church of Misery into Pittsburgh, so it was a good time.
Very cool.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Directly to his left is Comic Head, aka Macho Head 84.
Salute. What's up, fellas?
The man taking a break from buying comics.
Indeed.
Much respect.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, kicking it like a fat rat in Cheese Factory. I stole your line. It's Caleb, the comics.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of actually hanging out like a hemorrhoid tonight, dude. I didn't get because I wasn't able to get to the comic store.
That's how we're doing things.
Dude, you're gonna steal my line. I got to come up with another one, you know.
We got to shout out the chat already. TJ, the Slab Dragon Watson was first. What's up, TJ? Always appreciate you. Chris Barrett never misses a show, although he voted against me in the hunt. That's all right.
Oh.
DS Comics is also here. Perry Comics is also here.
I like that White Whale has it noted who voted.
No, he
I was about to say I'm gonna start poaching that now because I can actually count on him for a vote. I bet then
he has reminded.
He already doesn't like you.
He's like the military. He's like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison. He's got like the list. He just like crosses them off.
No, I appreciate Chris Barrett because he seems to like me, but still voted against me, which means he voted with his heart.
Honestly.
Perry Comics says, White Whale, John's trolling you in JP stream. That's funny because I was just trolling John right before we went live.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess I have the respect to do it offline.
I like your jokes, Alec.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody does. How are you all doing tonight?
Good.
I'm doing good, dude, for the most part. I'm stranded at the moment, but I'm doing good.
Inception troll, Perry Comics says. By the way, Stephen King gave a blurb to this. Said it's the best graphic novel he's ever read. So, I mean, that's a pretty good get.
True. I wonder how much they paid him. No, I'm just kidding. Makes you wonder, though.
I don't know why it flagged DS's comments. And speaking of trolls, everyone should check out Troll Hunter. It's a kick-ass movie. It flagged that for review, but I'll allow it. That is a cool movie.
It is random sometimes the things that the chats will flag on you.
Like if it's anything like a website or an email address or but it's like sometimes swears will go through.
It's all in the settings.
Mm.
Like you can have your settings like automatically low.
I don't care. People can say whatever the hell they want on my channel.
Pretty much.
But this is the Comic Core. I don't have control over this. I don't have control over this show. We're off the rails tonight already. So where do we leave off? We left off
issue 36.
Yes. So this issue starts off with a bunch of women kind of gossiping about if are men still left on the planet. We're flying through again this week, by the way.
They looked military because I did get to see the first couple of pages and read them before my tablet started shooting pop-ups, but they looked like they were military.
And then we meet this reporter who is on the hunt. She works for a tabloid, and she's on the hunt for this mythical man. Then we're back in the submarine with Yorick, who is just got cabin, like space madness, cabin fever. He wants to get out of this sub. The giant phallic symbol.
They do throw those in there a lot. I bet the artwork showed it. I didn't get to see it, but
And then I don't know, blah blah blah. I felt like there was it's important for the overall story and the nuance of everything. But as far as like the plot goes, this trade had the most blah blah blah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
a lot of flashbacks, right? In this
a lot of flashbacks.
I'm never a fan of flashbacks in shows. Definitely not in comics.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of takes you out of the moment of like you're really invested in what's happening moving forward, and all of a sudden then it's like, yeah, it builds character stuff, but like you can do that in other ways, right?
Yeah.
I chalk those up to filler issues.
It is interesting to get characters' backstories, but do it in like a one-off, like extra issue. Then people will be like, "Oh, you're making me buy extra stuff just to get the full story." Blah blah blah. What are you, Marvel?
Classic line.
Yeah.
Classic.
So they dress Yorick up in a hijab to sneak him around, and he's like, "Oh, wouldn't a wig be less conspicuous?" They've tried that before.
Yeah, him and his disguises, he just throws it all to the wind, dude. He rips it off and jumps into hairy situations all the time.
And they're sneaking around this place, and they see this note on the wall that references Beth, and Yorick is sure it's Beth.
You know what I wonder on these kind of scenes, like when he's wearing the hijab and walking around like undercover, which is kind of how I'd be curious how a TV show would play it out, is do you think he's altering his voice when he's walking around talking, or is he?
So
how do you read it? That's what I
don't know. Because
how do you read it in your head, Kenny?
I read it as a guy's voice, but then I stopped and questioned myself, like, wait a minute, is he just? I'm assuming he has some bass in his voice. Like,
well, so later on, he makes reference to like, "Oh, I've got a really good fake lady voice," which makes me believe that he has not used it before.
Right.
So he's just been talking. He don't care.
There's also like another like line from someone, I think it might be Dr. Mann, that says like, "Yeah, your women voice is like the worst ever." Yeah. So like I kind of feel like maybe he's been doing it, but it's just really bad. Yeah. I still read it in a guy's voice, and then
I'd be curious to see what an actor did with that, how they would do it. Because you'd have to do it a lot.
Let's all tweet Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, we need to get to the bottom of this.
I'm going to message him on IG later. So then they hear something, and there are these 4 women who Yorick yells "zombies," which I thought was pretty funny. And he just like takes off and leaves 355 alone to fight these women. And this is the start of a very interesting arc for 355, I think. When she beats all these women up who are drug addicts, she goes back outside to find Yorick, and she says, "You all right?" And he says, "You're alive. What were those things?" And she says, "Just women with a disease." And he says, "So you didn't have to fight them?" And she said, "No, I didn't have to." But clearly she did, and she realizes that she didn't have to. And that's kind of comes into play quite a lot in this trade, I would say.
Yeah, this trade heavily focuses on her, and like I'm glad we get into her backstory later on, which is pretty cool.
So a woman nearby sees Yorick and calls this reporter saying, "Hey, I found the man." And then it cuts to the scene with Dr. Mann, who, as we pointed out last week, is looking hotter and hotter every week with her new lady friend, Eye Patch Molly, or whatever her name is. And they kind of flirt, and kind of Dr. Mann is Dr. Mann. She's like very reserved and like, "I already have too many friends. I don't want to be your friend because I'm a grump."
Are they still, this might be a dumb question, but are they in America at this point?
They're in Australia.
Australia.
Oh,
that's right. The Beth Wall thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Out of the loop am I? Hey, what country are we in?
I was literally about to ask the same thing. So.
And let me see. Yeah, all it says is the HMS Williamson. So it doesn't even. I guess you're just supposed to understand where you are from context clues, because usually it'll have that big thing that says.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the whole point of them getting off
Kansas
the sub
now.
was that to give Yorick some time to go into Australia to find Beth. I think
Yeah.
he was under like an hour time period.
I'm not a big naval buff, so that didn't tip me off.
No, you live in one of the naval capitals of the past.
Oh yeah,
true.
that's right.
Well, that's not Navy. That's more just heroin addicted fishermen. So
It is nautical.
it's nautical. That's true.
Anyway, this lowly reporter gets a jump on 355 with a stun gun somehow, even though she's like the biggest badass. She just like sneaks out of the dark and zaps her. And then she makes Yorick take off all his clothes and take a picture with a newspaper. I'm going to cover up his Johnson, which will not be very hard because they drew it very, very tiny. Which they do reference a number of times about how he's got a small wiener. So I guess it's appropriate. And she takes a picture of him with this newspaper showing that there's still a man alive.
He said he's a grower, not a shower.
He does say that later.
Yes.
He also says he didn't have time to chub up.
Yeah.
I use that line too sometimes.
Chub up.
Grower, not a shower.
Belly buttons? What? Drew Manchu says belly buttons.
Oh, belly button.
You were pointing at his belly button.
Oh, I was pointing at his belly button.
Drew Manchu, baby.
Drew Manchu, baby. Because I had my hand on his dick. And then
Can we cut a little edit of that to be reused later?
yeah,
Somebody in the chat, please do that
I'm
for
sure-
us. Drew Manchu, you are the edit wizard.
I'm sure
Make a gif of that.
every single line I have said could be chopped up into whatever people want me to say at this point. Like anybody on YouTube, it's like, yeah, you can make Siri out of me and just have me say like,
That would be awesome. I would have a white whale Siri if I had an Apple phone.
it would be very, very, very glum.
But I would want the McConaughey white whale.
All right.
There we go. There it is, folks. I
so
got you a free voice.
There's your
acting or
ringtone,
whatever.
right? Let's get a clean cut. All right. Oh, navel belly buttons. Got it. Now I'm up to date.
Or oranges. That could
Or
be an orange
oranges.
too.
I want a white whale ringtone of him doing the pallbearer. The clock on the embalming room wall. I
think-
fucking love that so much.
I'm
dude.
sure you can you can cut that out pretty well from the hunt
Oh, it's
last
so
week.
funny. So good.
Yeah, who knew I could do Paul Bearer so well, huh?
Oh,
That's awesome. Who knew you could do
With-
most
with
of
my-
the voices so
My
well?
normal deep silky voice that I could get so high.
It's got to be the beard that helps you like filter sound through to make these impressions so believable. It
Yeah.
has to.
All right.
It's something to do with the beard.
chill with your bro science, Smurf.
So believable. I'd say I've got like a solid 2-3 impressions, and the rest have just been utter garbage. So the next issue starts 13 years in the past with 355 and this other agent. And she's kind of like hesitant to go out and kill these people, and then he punches her in the face and makes her do it, and she kills a bunch of people. And then we're back in Australia. This time it says it. Sydney, Australia.
Thank you.
Foster's Australian for beer. That's a free ad. Pay me, Foster's.
Heck yeah, dude.
Just
They got
please-
those big ass cans too.
Yeah, they do have big ass cans. You know who really likes it? Ricky Gervais. He's always, whenever he's like doing stand up, he's always got a big ass Foster's.
Weird. I didn't
Yeah,
know
right.
that.
Such an awkward can to hold.
That's what
This
she's
is like this is not even a good beer. It's like they don't. It's not even from Australia. like they don't even have that beer there.
Well, now I'm definitely not getting sponsored by Foster's.
Sorry,
Um,
I blew it.
so 355 wakes up and she's like, "Where are your clothes?" And he's like, "Oh, this lady took a picture of my junk." That's his words, not mine, but would also be mine words.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then she's like, "Oh, we can't let this get out. We've got a rumor to kill." And then we got the lady, blah blah blah. She's sending the picture out. And she's like, "Well, you know what they say about pictures? They say 1,000 words."
Shrink.
Preternaturally flaccid.
What?
What is that? Preternaturally?
Yeah, that's Brian K. Vaughan's big word for the night.
Dang.
Preternatural. I assume like that means like more than flaccid.
Yep.
That shit is extra dead.
A little shrinkage. She was cold that day.
Someone should look that up and give us the definition.
I don't even know how to spell it. I don't have it in front of me. I would look it up.
It is Preternaturally. Preternaturally. We're back on the sub with our new budding romance of Dr. Man and Eye Patch Molly, who I'm going to continue to call that until I see a name somewhere, because I don't remember her name.
It is that which appears outside or beside the natural. It is suspended between the mundane and the miraculous.
Yeah, kind of sounds like my dick. Anyway, they're kind of just like flirting or whatever, and they go fly a kite. Okay.
Yeah.
Figuratively or literally?
Literally. Not
Nice.
like I can go fly a kite.
Everybody likes a nice kite flying session. That's
Uh,
pretty cool.
What's up, Biggie Shack? What's up, Bueller? Who else has joined the chat? Oh, he said hi to Drew Manchu, baby. I guess that's everybody.
There's always people at my beach flying those like trick kites
Yeah.
that think they're all cool, like scaring people. One of these days, I'm just gonna whip out my pocket knife and cut that thing out of the air. Because they do, they whip it right down by your head and stuff. Heck no.
So York and 355 jumped a homeless person to get him clothes again, which is cool. Cool. And then she talks about how she was almost married to the guy who punched her in the face, who was her trainer, handler, or whatever. And she said, like,
Yeah, her prime.
Her prime. Yeah, baby. And then there they are flying the kite. And then they kind of like do one of the like, let me show you how to shoot pool type of moments.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Let me show you how to work that thing.
Yeah. She's working it all right. And then so 355 and York get the information about where Ampersand is being held, or where they think. No, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Where
#3
where the reporter is with the film. So they climb up this elevator shaft, and they find this lady who, like, once again gets the jump on them.
Yeah.
Like, come on, 355, what are you doing?
Sure.
And they go tumbling out of the hotel window.
Damn.
Yeah.
How many
Right.
stories down?
Not great. And then
Dr. Man looking nice.
yeah,
Man.
like,
I'm telling you, she
getting it
gets
again.
hotter each issue.
and she really nails the joke here. She says, "Wow, so this is what smoking is like," because you think she's saying, "Wow," she just got banged.
Is that a perp
Bang.
camera in the bushes? What is
It's like a
that?
reporter.
That is a camcorder in the bushes,
Peeper.
which does not come into play as far as their lovemaking goes. And then she talks about her G-spot, which is cool.
Yay.
Yay.
Where's Robert Galvin when you need him?
Yeah.
And then we're back to them still falling somehow. Off the ledge. It's a very slow fall. Did you know, fun fact, by the way, a couple Australian facts. Platypuses are mammals, but they lay eggs.
Yes, one of the only mammals that lays eggs.
But did you know that they're also venomous?
Whoa, I did not
Didn't
know
know
that. That's pretty cool.
They've got
Whoa.
venomous barbs. But even more interestingly, gravity is much slower there, apparently, because they're falling very slowly.
Well, is it true that the water in the toilet spins the opposite direction?
That one is true. Mine was not. The platypus thing was
It really is true?
That was like two truths and a lie. Yes, the water goes down a different way. Platypuses are venomous. Gravity is the same.
I wonder
How do they
if
inject
somebody
you
would
with the venom,
notice.
Do they have in their claws?
They've got barbs beneath their feet.
Hmm.
Look it up. I'm not crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
Although gravity is just a theory, and
Yeah, so is flat Earth.
the moon is
So-
flat.
But there are thousands of people that actually
hollow.
believe that crap.
The moon is hollow and made of cheese.
You saying gravity?
That would be awesome. That's my cheese factory, bro.
Gravity is
On the moon.
crush it?
I've been coming down from the moon every week just to
And
come see y'all.
apparently, Mars and the moon are the same thing. Cultural references.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Our president tweeted that. If you missed that. So 355 does this amazing maneuver where she somehow catches herself on the rail and catches this woman at the same time, which I don't think is possible.
Unless you're 355.
But her explanation is that 1033, which was the guy who trained her, was a mole in a Moscow circus, so she taught her how to do that, which bit of a stretch, Brian K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely
That grip strength,
shoulder
though.
dislocation and stuff happening in that little scenario.
So this woman, straight in the words of Yorick, linebackers her way through Yorick out of this place, but he picks her pocket for her plane ticket.
Smooth.
Yeah, at least he's
Very,
good for
very
something.
smooth.
So they catch up with her at the runway because she's not allowed on the plane. Comic Man Andy, what's up? Throw up them horns. Yeah. By the way, quick aside, since we're already so off the rails, I did a quick live stream with Big Will the other day, and it turned into quite a conversation about metal.
Oh, nice. That's
That's
awesome.
always nice.
So we
Is
should,
that the Big Will show?
it was a random Saturday stream where he was opening some mystery packs, and I joined it very late because
He had already opened everything.
he had already opened everything, and I came in and he had sent me the invite, and I was like, "Did I make it?" He's like, "No, I just finished." And so we just talked about metal for like 20 minutes, and everyone loved
nice.
the chat. But it was fun.
Hell yeah.
355 just starts like wailing on this chick, just like beating the hell out of her, and Yorick does like everyone's getting the jump on 355. He pulls her gun from her and it's just like, "Yo, cool it." Yorick throwing some balls from when we just saw him naked because he didn't have them then.
I didn't catch that her arm's in a sling because she banged it up from her trapeze.
She quote
There you go.
broke it. Sorry for the mess. I was robbed. I'm kidding. I'm moving. That joke never gets old.
Never get
And then, so this part kind of pissed me off. I don't know how you guys feel about it. They've been running after this lady this whole time, trying to get this picture back. And all of a sudden, Yorick's like,
Just let her go.
It's a tabloid. No one's going to believe her anyway.
Right.
It's full of bad Photoshop jobs. They have David Beckham sightings every week. Like, who's going to believe this? Why didn't you say this before they, like, jumped out of a hotel window, dude?
Yeah. You're like right there. You might as well just take the film. Like,
Well, the film's already gone.
oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then we have this very funny moment of the reporter asking, "Why do you ask?" to a question, and 355 being like, "No comment." She knows York's going to spill all the beans. Nothing worse than spilt beans.
No.
Then we find out iPatch Molly is a mole working for the sub-captain, and she's just having sex with Dr. Man to get on the inside, figuratively and literally.
classic spy move.
That's a sex joke.
I think it's funnier when you let us know that it's a joke.
Well, I mean, it clearly didn't land, so I had to make sure you guys got it.
Oh my god! I thought it was funny. Like, I snickered at it, but it's even funnier the second time when it's a joke.
So they go to this bar where they think Beth was last seen. They run into this blue-haired, tattooed cutie
Nice.
who's like, "Beth's on walkabout, mate."
Mhm.
That was my Australian.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then,
So she got out of the whole kidnapping thing?
oh yeah, at the end of the last issue, the last trade, she is by the side of the road, just like in her clothes.
Yeah, they let her go, I guess, and just
And
dropped
then
her off there.
she's like, "Oh, you have friends looking for someone named Yanni or something." That kind of went like a little limey. And anyway, she says that she's going to Paris to look for Yorick.
Oh,
And then
man.
Yorick's like, I have no idea what that means. Like, dude, you had a whole conversation about it. It was like the plan all along. We saw this in another issue. Like, I thought it was kind of important. And then we get this like really weird scene of Yorick's mom staring at his naked picture and crying. With I gotta cover up the wang again. With the Washington Monument very phallically in the background.
How old is he at this point when she's looking at the nudie photo?
A full-ass grown man. It's the photo the lady just took and published in the picture. She's crying because he's still alive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got you now.
And then the Israeli lady comes in and pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
And then
And that's Alter, right? From the early issues.
that is Alter, yep.
She back.
She says, I don't believe in torture, blam. And then we get a triple ampersand cover.
So nice.
Epic.
Really great.
I like the little spermy things floating around.
And we're back to Caleb's favorite character, Hero, who is looking for Beth number 2, Church Beth, Scarface Beth.
Oh, my favorite of the hookups.
Yeah, and it's Yorick's Wiener's favorite too, because she done be preggers.
Who's the father?
I like that chick, dude.
This like is the easiest.
I knew she was gonna have a baby.
This is not a Maury episode.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy whodunit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I called that one.
Well, it could be God.
It's no.
Immaculate.
So Hero came there to bring a note from Yorick, and she gives it to her, and she says, "What does the note say?" And she says, "Oh, it's just a goodbye letter. It tells me to keep looking for that he's going to keep looking for his true love." And Hero's like, "Oh, damn! If I knew it said that, I wouldn't have come all this way." And they go inside, and then there's like straight up like halberd Swiss guards with a nun, and they both think that they're with the other person, and they get into a big fight and everything, and they get kidnapped. And then they're in like a medieval dungeon.
Yeah, there's no way he's playing that off with Beth either. Like I just thought about that.
He's like,
Yeah, he's
"Oh,
definitely.
I don't know. I could be someone else. The
Ampersand did it.
the timing is like a little. It's like a month off. I don't know. No,
He's gonna blame the monkey. I swear.
it you.
And a great panel too when they hit her with some chloroform to knock out Beth. They're apprehending her a bit, and she's looking at a nurse as she's about to knock out, and she has a little hallucination, and you get the crazy nurse demon switch with the fiery eyes.
Pretty bad.
That's cool.
That is an awesome panel.
The nuns from the Vatican. The nuns from the Vatican. She says that they predicted the plague. She says that they want this Beth's son to be the next pope. Turns out that it's not a son, it's a daughter. And so they're just like, okay, goodbye, you're all set. Here's the keys to the church.
Water on her, and she's like, peace.
Here's the keys to the church, which have a little cross on them. And then Yorick and Beth take off together in a motorcycle sidecar.
It looks like it looks like a car key though. Maybe it's the key to the sidecar.
Yeah, I think it is. Key to the motorcycle. I thought it was funny that they were in fucking medieval times.
Yeah, they're in medieval times. And then we see the note that Yorick wrote, and it doesn't say what Beth says it does. It says, "Don't tell the woman standing in front of you, but if you're reading this note, it's because I've sent my sister to deliver it to you. She might seem a little off, but something tells me she just needs a friend, and that's not really something I can be to her right now. You certainly don't owe me anything, but any help you can provide in this matter would be greatly appreciated." So basically, Yorick sent them to go be pals.
And another great panel layout. I just like the creative panel layout.
Him on the roof. They are now in Papua New Guinea. And on their way
Mania.
to Nippon, aka Japan.
Fun fact about Papua New Guinea: there's these little orange betel beans, is what they're called, and truck drivers use them as stimulants to stay awake while driving on the road. So if you see a truck driver with orange teeth, don't get in with him because he's probably been awake for days.
That's good advice all around. Then there's something about cannibals, and they cut back to a whole flashback of 355's youth. Her parents died, and then she was bullied, and then she was recruited, and then the woman recruiting her, who was also named 355, betrays her. I'm really blown through this one because it was just and then 355 like bites her neck off, which is where the whole eating humans thing came from.
It's funny because that old 355 told her like the strongest muscle in the human body is the jaw, and not to forget it. So I kind of came back around to bite her in the neck.
Yep.
And then we get another ampersand cover. This one's just full of them.
Heck yeah.
Those
Those are the ones that sold, man. That's why they put them on there. They know we put ampersand on the cover. It's going to sell.
People are going to buy it. We cut to Japan 5 years ago with, I assume, ampersand, and they're running experiments on them, and they put some serum in them and ship them off to the United States, where he escapes and starts throwing his poop. That's why you know it's ampersand. And then it's given to Yorick, who tells him about Beth. And then they go to find, this is like right after the plague, and they go to find his lab partner, Buddy, who he's sure is going to be alive. And he's straight up getting eaten by cats, which is like one of the most badass panels.
Yeah.
That is a true thing that happens, though, in real life.
Oh, like, no doubt. Your animals will eat you.
If people die in their home, cats actually do eat their owners, just so you know.
Cats don't give a if about you. And then York says, I'm alone, I'm all alone. Yeah. Newsflash, Buddy. And then we get a lot of blah, blah. We get a weird thing with ampersand having a dream.
Yeah, right.
Where he's in a basket of eggs, and he opens an egg, and it's Yorick's face. And then a bird tries to come get it. I don't know.
It does make you wonder. I've actually wondered this before. Like, you guys think animals dream?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Dogs definitely do.
Sure?
I think this goes into play that, like, earlier they talked about how animals don't care about you. Like, they just want their food and, like, sex or whatever. You know what I mean? Just basic human instincts. But here it shows, like, ampersand dreams of Yorick and he misses him. Yeah. So it kind of shows, like, a little relation between them two.
And then we got Toyota doing some sort of Tai Chi in the almost fully nude, just as an excuse to put some boobs in a Vertigo book, I guess. And she, we find out that she chopped off part of ampersand's tail for being a bad guy, which is very sad. Then he pisses in her face.
Yeah, right in her eyes.
I gotta show this page for two reasons: the pissing in the face, but also down here, a very strange face drawn.
Ampersand's pooping in that bottom one.
It looks like a little person. I don't know. I think it's a weird drawing. The nose isn't quite right for a monkey. Anyway, he gets away, jumps out the porthole, and he's off to the races in the streets of Japan. Then we get some blah blah with some Yorick wearing some fancy Gwen Stefani looking, whatever they were called, Yokoshimi girls or whatever that style was. That was in the early 2000s. Another great timely cultural reference that doesn't really carry over. Dr. Man and Eye Patch Molly go walking off to try to see. Look, that's how you draw a monkey nose. It's much better.
Yeah, right.
I think that other show was drawn by someone else.
This part's so sad. I was really sad for the monkey.
So that's not ampersand, by the way. Toyota shows up to this pawn shop and asks to buy the monkey and just like decapitates the woman. With one.
Ampersand is so sad in that scene.
It's not ampersand. It's just some monkey.
Oh, that's another monkey?
Yeah, some female monkey.
She says like, "Oh, it's the wrong one." She's like, "What a waste of time." We got more bonding between Yorick and 355, and kind of get to start seeing where that's headed. And we get more bonding between Eye Patch Molly and Dr. Man. and she's like about to tell her that she's in love with her, but then they see that the lab they're going to see is burning down.
Again.
Who Dat Comics, what's up?
Who that? Harlem Heat.
They bust into this place and find
Sex shop.
a man who says, "Welcome to the future."
Boom. He's not the last man on Earth. Case closed.
Yeah, that's the end of the series. We're back in Kansas, where Hero and Beth 2 and Beth Jr.
Yeah, her baby grew up pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, they must have been on the road for a few months. Are delivering poop to the twins to do research so that the astronaut baby can be let free.
Out of the bubble. Then we're no longer a bubble boy.
Classic Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Oh, so good.
We find out that
It really was, dude.
the man is actually
Poppy and Pappy are the best.
is actually an android.
A cybernetic organism, living tissue over exoskeleton.
He's a sex bot, and he says something really funny later on. So he has like clearly these pre-programmed responses. Anyway, 355 gets jumped again. She's really losing her touch by a former Tokyo police officer. This is where he says something. So Yorick threatens to like kill the sex bot, and the sex bot says, "Yes, you are very beautiful when you cry," which I thought was a hilarious pre-programmed response.
Yeah. Very comforting, robot.
Then we see Toyota is tracking Dr. Man and Eye Patch Molly. And then they find out where Ampersand is, and they're like, "Oh, we need to trade Yorick for Ampersand."
Who's in the hands of a maniacal pop star.
Yeah. Named something stupid. Epiphany.
Epiphany, yeah.
Or other.
I think she's Canadian, right? Something like that.
Yeah, and all of her albums are named after precious gems. Now we go to Dr. Man's mother's garden, and they're like, "Why haven't the Y chromosomes and plants and fruit flies died?" And then Eye Patch Molly gets stabbed to the stomach by her
I got your back, Misexplained.
What's that? All right, I gotta go to the chat. I'm looking at the comic. I gotta go back and forth between the two.
So yeah, she gets straight stabbed. And then we're back
Jason's doing it the right way, though. He actually bought it on Mythology instead of trying to go to the unsavory websites to read it for free.
Is that a confession?
We cut to...
I am not confessing to anything whatsoever.
We cut to Washington, where they find the president shot. They're like, "Who would do this? Oh my God." And then back to Tokyo, where they're getting straight armed up to infiltrate this whole scene. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast so we can stick to the hour, because I think the list is on after this, maybe. Yorick's got some like serious feathered hair, by the way.
Yeah.
Dr. Man's mom is like, "I'm the best surgeon in the world. Why do we need to bring her to a hospital? Let's fix her up here." Esmeralda, or Epiphany, or whatever her name is starting to grow very fond of Ampersand. And then 355 starts capping people in the head just for like no reason. And once again, the Tokyo agent says a pistol whipping wouldn't have sufficed. And so, the question of 355's over-aggression is coming into play. And then she tries to shoot this little girl, but is out of bullets, out of guns. But they are overwhelmed with the force of these guards, and they get captured. And the Tokyo guard real quickly gives up Yorick as being here, and she's like, "I'm willing to trade him for the monkey." And then you get to see how terrible of a person that Epiphany is because she refers to 355 as the other monkey, which is super offensive.
She also threatened to chop off Ampersand's little pee-pee for cocaine.
She needs to leave Ampersand alone, or I'm gonna hop in that comic book and chop her tail off.
Dr. Man's mom saves Eye Patch Molly, and then they have a very long conversation about how she knows that Yorick exists because she's been in touch with the president. They bring Yorick to the hotel. They throw him in a room with 355, who's crying, and she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then in her dazed state, Eye Patch Molly says that she's not, she's a bad guy. And then Toyota is ready to chop off Dr. Man's head.
I hope Ampersand stays in this tuxedo the whole entire rest of the series.
Yeah, I know. The tuxedo is awesome. So Yorick tells 355 that he killed the girl and he was in self-defense, and that he told the monkey. Anyway, it's more just bonding bullcrap, and then Toyota and stuff, and they get into a sword fight, and then they try to make a deal for the monkey, and she stabs a needle in this lady's eye. Blah, blah, blah. Then there's this very touching scene with the two of them, which, if you didn't get it by now, you probably got it. What's going to happen there? Now we get to see Dr. Man fencing like a badass. Look at that lunge.
Look at that lunge.
But no, Harvard does not compare with ninjutsu because she gets stabbed through the shoulder and pinned to the wall with a sword.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a samurai or any kind of like Japanese trained sword would go up against some fencer for sure.
Absolutely. The Tokyo agent quickly convinces all of this pop star's fans to become mobsters instead, very quickly and conveniently.
She was like, give up the drug game, and why don't you come and be like, what is it, bedroom gangsters? Yeah, gangsters of love.
Gangsters of love. Basically pimps to robots.
Hell yeah.
And then Toyota straight smoke bombs her and Dr. Man's mom out of the picture. And then, we get the reuniting of Ampersand and Yorick. Hooray!
I like how Amp rolls into the room on the handle, the door handle.
Yeah. And then bites Yorick in the ear for leaving him. Then Yorick tries to call Kansas, but then the phone cuts out in the middle of it because we get Alter rolling in with straight tanks.
That next cover looks awesome, dude. Hold that back up, please. Oh, yeah. I dig it.
Dr. Man. And you can see in the background it says man. And this is a background issue on Dr. Man and her.
Even though a bathroom would say men, not man.
Man, yeah.
Right. Can I go to the man's room?
Go to the man room.
Man's room.
And then for me, Dr. Man has never looked hotter.
Yeah, the punk face.
Man, whew, did it for me.
Dog it.
Yeah, forget about it. Shows her having sex in a Yugo with some lady. And then she gets broken up with the lady because she wants to be with a man instead. And then something, I kind of glazed over this part, but something happens where she like seduces a student, I think, right?
No, she kind of recruits him to go along with some experiments for credit.
And then we get this very mature panel of Yorick who says, quote, laughter died with the dudes because 355 is not amused. And then we see Dr. Man like bleeding out.
Yeah, she's having like really intense like periods or something. Not sure what's going on.
Something bad.
Probably from the clone baby.
Oh, no doubt.
Situation.
Yeah.
After Effects, man. So all you people out there trying to clone yourself, think twice.
Trying to get burnt yourself, careful.
And then we get this whole issue on Alter, which I barely read because I didn't really care. Because she hasn't been a character in so long. What a weird place to put in a flashback story about a character we don't care about.
Yeah. Right.
That's the trade. We did it.
Yep.
Yay!
Bang.
Alec is the man, dude.
Yo,
I
that's
feel like I
suicide
actually
bombing.
read it.
That suicide bombing at the end, though, that was intense.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has some moments in it. It's just, it's like that.
It's like, why now?
Like right after you think Dr. Man is maybe dying for the second time in 4 issues.
What do you think that last page, though, is? Like, what does it mean when she holds up the photo and says, I'm his savior?
I don't know if she's talking about, I didn't get that. But then again, I didn't pay very close attention to that issue. So I'll show it, though. Show the photograph.
Because they're like, why do you want to kill York? And she's like, well, I'm his savior, actually. And so I was like, okay. Like, I read it pretty, slowly. Like everything. I read everything pretty thoroughly. And like even then I was like, all right. Kind of a weird ending. But
yeah, I agree. So we got one hardcover left.
Yep.
Which hopefully we can crush out next week.
Oh yeah.
So we got the list coming up, right?
As far as I know, unless they're taking a week off.
Okay.
So stay tuned on this channel for John, who apparently was besmirching my name earlier. But watch it for the core, not for him.
That's right.
You guys got anything going on this week?
Not much. I'm gonna be working on my car.
That sounds fun.
Not really.
Kenny's not buying books.
Yeah.
I know he's quitting comics, y'all.
And not, like I said, I think I'm gonna try to go a straight month without doing any like comic hauls or eBay buying, and just revel in my collection.
There's a few new books, man. I just can't drop right now, but
I think new books don't count. I think it's like
I've
bin
definitely
hunting, right?
slowed down on buying like collection books.
Like new comic book day stuff that I'm reading. Ain't no thing to pick up a couple issues that I want to read. But as far as like hunting stuff down on eBay and hauls and whatnot, that's what I'm gonna unplug from for a minute.
Very cool.
I bought some Vampirelli covers. I couldn't help myself.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
It happens. They're
Yeah,
always
can't beat
out
those.
there.
I was at a shop today. The guy said he had just bought 1 through 50 and sold them. It's like, damn. I've got book club sans John on Wednesday. I got issues going to be joining me. We're going to be talking about Usagi Yojimbo #1. It's going to be great and probably
John
off the
will
road.
not be there. It'll just be him and Chris.
That's
So
dope. Yeah,
definitely
that's
check
one
it
that
out.
I am gonna pick up Wednesday. I want to read it, and that 1 in 10 cover looks crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variants.
There's an awesome Eastman cover.
Did you guys read the Turtles crossover? It had me curious because I have been hearing a bunch of things about Turtles.
I haven't read the
everyone's
third
talking about
one.
Yojimbo a lot, but I guess there's a crossover between Turtles and Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Usagi Yojimbo he was in the cartoon. They had a figure in the Turtles line of him.
Sure.
That's awesome.
TJ said I tried not buying comics for a month once. He lasted 4 days.
Oh man.
Then
DJ sent me a picture of one of my girls earlier. That's a good price on eBay, but I can't get it right now. But I know what price to buy it at now. So thank you, TJ.
The Eastman cover is straight fire. Friday, I'm defending my Hunt championship, and I will retain the championship.
Huh?
So, you heard me.
What was that?
Oh, is that the Bandito coming up?
I don't know about that, Buckhorn. You better
that's
simmer on down now.
You guys are facing off. That's right.
Yeah, and there's also Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank who can show up at any time. So,
and the theme is minimalist, correct?
For the theme cover is minimalist covers.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But anything
I
goes.
think we're gonna be showing some of the same books. I bet.
Not every book has to be a minimalist cover.
Yeah, but do you get extra brownie points?
I don't know. Maybe the chat will think so.
Yeah, you can try a different angle.
But that previous statement was not a true statement. That is a theory. or an opinion.
That
So
I'm going to retain.
he might possibly retain. Very minimal chance that he might, but it is
Ooh.
possible. I'll give him that chance.
The future will tell. But I am a soothsayer, and I say so.
Drew Manchu says the hunt fears him because you never invite him. These amazing deals. So I agree. Let's get Drew Manchu on the hunt. Let's talk to Tony there.
Drew Manchu, baby. Okay. So after next week, we're thinking about doing a bit of a shift in this show, maybe doing something totally different. So stay tuned for that. We will let you know next week what that is going to look like because we're still ironing it out. But thanks for joining us, as always. Stay safe. Never turn your back to the ocean. Bye.
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 See you later.